Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Ooh, I'm excited for today's video. So I've been thinking a lot during this quarantine, and just hold on, there's a hair in my camera lens. Okay, so I've just been thinking a lot during quarantine about myself and the kind of content that inspires me, and just as I get older, the more I'm just trying to live as authentically as I possibly can. And what I mean by that is just stop being fake. And I don't know, I feel like everybody kind of is fake to an extent if they're not aware of it, in a sense. I don't exactly know how to word that. For myself, I'm just trying to live as my most authentic self, especially as I get older, and doing things that just make me happy. And I wanted to create content that reflects that. So today, your girl is shaving her head, and this is not like new. Like, I've shaved my head before, I've done it in the past, and as soon as I shaved my head for the first time, it just made me feel so much more me. And then I grew my hair out, and I'm itching to cut it. And I'm itching to have a discussion about just kind of learning to embrace being my most authentic self, and learning to embrace my beauty, and not necessarily conforming to any kind of beauty standards, just doing what makes me feel most beautiful and most myself. So that's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna get my boyfriend as soon as he's out of the shower, and he's gonna shave my head, and then I'm not a beauty guru, but I'm gonna attempt to do my makeup on camera while talking to you guys about just what I've been thinking, and I don't know, relating to anybody who kind of feels the way I feel, who has felt the way I have felt. So if you haven't already, subscribe, come join if you would like. And yeah, that's today's video. I hope you guys are all well. Okay, let's go get him, have him cut my hair. Are you ready?
What?
What are you doing? Babe! This is all going away. How do we do this?
Come on here.
Okay, hold on. I feel like a 3 should be fine.
Yeah.
I feel like a 3.
Yeah.
All right, babe, let's do this. Why do you look worried?
You need something to be fun. I'm just
Okay.
kidding.
Wait, let's think this through. Should I comb it, or how do we do this?
What you gonna call me?
Because my hair is so long now. Do you see what I mean?
No.
All right then.
You ready?
I mean, yeah, like I've done this before.
Yeah.
It's just, my hair's dirty, but you already know that. Okay, go ahead. I think once you get the most of it off, then I can shave the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
I just need you to do the base of it so that it's like the...
What?
Oh, yeah!
It's just a matter of equality.
Okay, hand it over. Oh, yeah. This feels so nice. Okay, so I have just shaved off all my hair, but I'm gonna quickly go take a shower because I have hair all over me and it's super itchy. Then I'm gonna put a cute outfit on, and then we're gonna do my makeup and chit chat. Okay, so I cut my hair and let's do my makeup. Today we are planning on going to the park, not to just sit there and like hang around people, even though I did do that yesterday. But listen, I live in Montreal. The rules have changed a little bit, so don't watch this and then go out and hang out with your friends right now. Like, no, do what you need to do. But we're just gonna go out, get some fresh air, because it's beautiful later, and I just want to look kind of cute, especially now that I have shaved off all my hair. I'm trying to look I'm trying to look cute. So what I really wanted to talk about today was just, yeah, I was just feeling, or recently have been feeling just so tired of just kind of conforming to things that don't really resonate with me. And one of those things is my looks and hair, and it was just like weighing on me. And though I did want to grow out my hair, I've had short hair before, and I did want to grow out my hair, there was a part of me that I just did not really care to grow it out anymore, but I was doing it because I was like, no, like I know that my friends and I know that people will see like this long, beautiful hair and think that that's more acceptable. So like I should just like keep going with this and keep doing this. And my friends will know like I'm addicted to cutting my hair short, and I just wanted to try something new, but I just got over it. And then I like kept holding on to it and not really understanding why I was doing that, if I was feeling so like conflicted and different inside. And I don't know, I just came to the realization that like, wait girl, you're doing this because you still feel somewhere somehow that your beauty is attributed to the way you look and your hair. And like, can I blame myself for that? No, we live in this world where, I mean, look on Instagram, every single girl looks the same. And it's like, it just, sometimes it gets hard, especially if you are a dark skin woman. Like, life is hard. Like, and it's even harder when you don't see yourself often. And like growing up, this was even harder, which is why I held on to like having relaxed hair for a long time. One, it was easier for my mom, who also had relaxed hair. So this is like generations of just like doing, like conforming to a certain beauty standard to be more accepted. And so, you know, she did the same thing for me. Love my mom, there's like no shade. However, you know, it kind of subconsciously made me believe that I needed to have straight hair like the majority of my friends to feel beautiful and to feel accepted. And I don't know, I just have been feeling like so over that. Like I feel most myself when I have short hair, and yet I was like trying to adhere to these beauty standards that just they weren't meant for me. They were not constructed for me, people that look like me. So like, what am I doing? Like, it doesn't even matter. And I feel like when you're a dark skinned woman, and I'm just speaking from like my personal experience, like this is not the experience of all dark skinned Black women. However, maybe some will watch this and agree. I just feel like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you're not, especially if you're a dark skinned Black woman and you have like coarse, kinky hair, which I think is beautiful, but I just feel like you have this extra pressure to make sure that it looks nice and not, you know, like you look homeless when you go out there. And like my 4C girls will understand that like if you don't know how to handle your hair, it can end up looking a little crazy, you know, like it doesn't look as upkept, I guess, if you want. And especially if you just never learn how to upkeep your hair, it's even more of a challenge later on. So just going back to, you know, feeling like I had to keep this long hair to be accepted, I just get to this point where I was just like, nah, like I'm gonna do what makes me feel most comfortable. Then when it comes to creating content on here, I was like, what do I do? Like, what is it that I really care about that I want to share? Because I don't want to just like put out content that just didn't speak to me. Like, no, like I've been just unsubscribing from people who like don't really speak to me, and I just kind of followed because, once again, conventionally beautiful, also with success, I was like, that's what I need to follow, that makes the most sense. But I just want to follow people who make me feel good inside and make me feel heard and seen. And then I was like, okay, what kind of content that I can do that will resonate most with other people? And it's just talking about my experience and what's going on in my mind. And recently it's been, yeah, like I'm just so over and feeling like I have to look a certain way to feel acceptable. And this definitely ties back to like my upbringing and like growing up in a predominantly white neighborhood. And I'm very blessed to have had the opportunity to grow up in a very nice neighborhood. However, when you start to see the same kinds of people all over, like all around you and surrounded by you, and those are your friends, and you stand out, which can be a beautiful thing, it plays with you. It plays with your mind growing up and seeing all of your friends have super easy straight hair. You start to think that you need to do whatever it is possible for you to have hair like that, hence the relaxers, among other things. And I'm very grateful when I go home, and it's definitely grounding, but I'm I also realize whenever I go home, like, wow, I'm so grateful that I'm no longer in this space where everybody looks the same, and I feel that pressure even in my like physical environment. And recently, like, I've just been really thinking about like how my upbringing really affects the way that I think and see things now. And I've had to do a lot of unlearning of what I had learned growing up, you know, of what is beautiful, what is acceptable. And that also came with time, like growing up. And it also came in my relationship, being with someone who just loves me genuinely for me. And, you know, like, this is just such a complex issue, especially being in an interracial relationship and being aware of the way your relationship is perceived. But having someone who just like stands by me and was literally the reason why I cut my hair in the first place, like 3 years ago. He was like, you're so over your relaxed hair. You want to be different. You want to learn what it is to have, you know, your textured hair. Just cut your hair off. Just having someone who made me feel great about that. Just, I don't know. Just having someone who just makes me feel beautiful in my own skin, and that I don't even need hair, like really made the difference for me many years ago. But now obviously like things have changed as well, and I've just been really thinking a lot about why is it that, one, everybody looks the same on Instagram, and why does everyone feel that they need to look the same on Instagram? But two, how does that make me feel, and what do I want to do? And the thing that speaks the most to me is to just be and do what feels most comfortable and right to you. And that does not have to be what everybody else is doing. And when it comes to my hair recently, I caught myself, I guess. I caught the train of thought and the narrative of, and I guess kind of the fear of not being accepted because of the way that I choose to look, even though that resonates more with me. And yeah, I caught myself and I was like, nope, we're not doing this anymore. We are doing things that make you feel most like you, because this is what I wish I had. This is what I wish I had seen and heard when I was younger. That no, you don't have to get a relaxer if you don't want to. If you do, that's okay. If you want to cut off all your hair, that's okay. If you want to go to school looking a certain way, that's okay. You don't have to do things that everybody else is doing to be acceptable. But this is also particularly complex when you are a black person, a black woman, and a dark-skinned black woman, because there's so many pressures already and things stacked against you that you just want to do whatever it is, I guess, or at least for me, I felt like I just wanted to do whatever would make my life easier. And if that meant straightening my hair, because that would mean that people would see me as like more put together and I would get into, you know, either an internship or a job or a university, then that's what I was going to do. I had that train of thought, and it makes me sad to think that I really think that I have to do that. But at the same time, it's difficult to be a dark-skinned woman in this world. It's difficult, and you know, doing these little things make me regain my power back in a world that does not necessarily want me to have the power. Do you know what I mean, sis? So that's the reason why I cut my hair, and these topics are the things that I really want to bring up on my channel. So yeah, and to go back to what am I doing here? What do I want to do on my face? Now, let's do a little bit of eyeshadow. But yeah, so with that, let's just talk a little bit about Instagram and how I'm feeling about Instagram. I love Instagram. I think that it's a really great place, but at the same time, I also feel like it can be really toxic if you're not careful of the people that you follow. And I just felt like I got into this trap of following the same kinds of people. And like, if you look at my like channel, I used to be super into fitness, and I'm still super into fitness. I still work out. I've just changed kind of the way I work out and the approach that I have to working out. But I was following, like, you know, Instagram fit baddies, and they're cute, and you know, all power to them. But when you start to follow the same kind of body type, also the same kind of girl that doesn't necessarily look like you at all, it just starts to kind of play with your mind. And recently I've been just unfollowing a lot of girls, not because they've done anything to me, like, girl, do your thing, but just I realized that I was trying too much to be something and to look like something that my body was just not designed to do, no matter how many hip thrusts I do. And like, you guys, if you follow me on Instagram, you know that like your girl is strong. Like I I definitely was out there hip thrusting a lot, but like my body was not looking necessarily like every single girl on Instagram, and I was out here fucking like killing myself for it. And I just realized how toxic that is. And like, if you want to go to the gym, you need to go to the gym because you just want to feel good. And I was preaching that, but I wasn't necessarily like living in that. And I just recently, in the past couple of months, caught myself it, and I was like, I'm becoming way too obsessed with looking a certain way. And I'm preaching that, you know, this is good, and it was good. Going to the gym is great for so many things, but I think the approach that I had to it started to become something else because of the people that I was following. And that's why I think that it's really important to be careful the people that you follow, because that stuff starts to play with you. When you're constantly scrolling on something that's as addictive as Instagram, that starts to play with you. You start to feel like you need to look a certain way to be acceptable, you know, especially when you see these girls getting brand deals, you see these girls, you know, getting likes, and like they're getting reposts on guy pages, you know, like it starts to play with you. You're like, damn, like that's what I gotta do to be liked. And like everybody wants to feel seen and heard, like everybody wants to feel seen and heard, but is that healthy for you? Like, is that healthy for you? Like, are you sleeping with a clean conscience at night? And like, listen, I wasn't. At a certain point, I was just getting so fed up. I was just tired, and I just wasn't enjoying the workouts anymore that everybody preaches. And listen, I was a personal trainer, so I was like, that was also part of my job, but I just got so tired of that. And with that, I was just tired of seeing the same kinds of chicks. I want to see different kinds of people. I want to see people, first and foremost, that also look like me and who have the same interests as me. And I just wasn't seeing that. And that's why I feel like you got to be careful with the people that you follow, because subconsciously that starts to play with you. And listen, if you want that kind of body type, if you want to do that, sis, do it, but make sure that you're doing it for you. Like, and I know that can be hard to discern, you know, it's hard to decide, like, am I doing this for me? Am I doing it because everybody says I need to do it? And that's something that I think that everybody needs to start to think about. Are you living your truth? Are you living the truth you think you should be living, you know? Because for me, let me put my hands up and say, I started living what I thought needed to be my truth, but not actually what was resonating with me. And I actually like movement that's a little bit more calm and that I can do at home. I'm someone who has a lot of anxiety, and though going to the gym was really great for me, great for my mental health, it was also like a lot of energy to put out. Going to the gym, having people like look at you, having people, it was just like getting a lot, and I was just like also just tired with it. So I really think it's important that you think about all that. Are you doing things for yourself, or are you doing things to please other people? And I want to live in a world eventually where we celebrate diversity and we celebrate people being different, and we're not afraid to be different. And yeah, like I feel like this change is slowly but surely coming. I've been finding a lot more people who are really, you know, kind of reparenting themselves. And I'm gonna put an Instagram that I've been following. I think the name is The Holistic Psychologist. And girl, this Instagram page changed the game for me, because I started to see the negative thought patterns that I was having and how it was affecting my relationships and more importantly, my relationship with myself. You know, this is also like, it came to me with like therapy as well, but this page is really great. And we all have perceptions and conditions that we sorry, my phone just rang. We all have perceptions based on the way that we were raised. Like, I think we don't realize how much our upbringing affects the way that we see the world today. And it is our duty to be aware of that, and then to actively choose what you want to believe and how you want to see the world, you know? And this is something that, like, personally, I didn't feel like I really had the chance to do growing up until I moved out of the area that I was in, and I had so many more people to meet and see, and also just a new space for me to explore my own thoughts. So we did a little bit of eyeshadow. Let's do a little bit of blush. But yeah, and also going back to Instagram, I just feel like going back to everybody like looking the same way, something that I feel like needs to be said. And I don't want to offend anybody who genuinely likes to go and you know, get things done. But I just feel like if that's really gonna make you happy, girl, do it. If that's gonna genuinely, when you wake up in the morning, you feel great about yourself because you got something done, sis, do it. However, if you're doing it because you think that that's what's more acceptable and that's what's in fashion, sis, we need to talk about that. Like, because no matter what you change on the outside, it's not going to change your inside. You can do everything that you want. You can conform under the sun. And let me tell you, as what society doesn't necessarily deem as the most attractive human being, you can do all that. You can try to relax your hair. You can hang out with a certain group of people. You can dress a certain way. But if you don't address what's going on inside, girl, we ain't going nowhere. Like, you're not really gonna be happy. And I feel like that's super important, that people need to start to like realize, like, looking a certain way is all fun and games, but is that really gonna bring you happiness? And what really is happiness for you, you know? And these thoughts also came to like this like new way of thinking. Like, I guess I started to develop this as I started to realize that I'm not someone who really likes to go to the club. I used to be, and like every once in a while, like I don't mind having a little drink and like hanging out and dancing. But once I started to realize that I'd just much rather be at home, I used to get a little bit of backlash from my friends, I'm not gonna lie, or people that I thought were my friends. But you know, like, backlash, like, why don't you want to go out? Why don't I want to do this? Because it's like, sis, I'm tired. That's like, I don't want to do all that. And I thought that if I didn't do all that, I wouldn't have friends. And obviously I was proven wrong. I definitely do have friends who are like, no, sis, we don't have to do all that. We can hang out at 3 in the afternoon and go to bed by 9. Like, we don't have to do that. But that's what really got me in this train of thought, is like, I just not wanting to do what everybody wants to do, and like learning to be okay with that. You know, if you're gonna lose friends or lose people in your life because you don't want to do a certain thing and they don't agree with that, then let those people go. Let those people go. It's not worth it. It really, really, really isn't worth it. And I feel like going back to making a conscious choice of the things that you want to believe, the things you want to stand by, you have to make decisions for yourself first and foremost. Yes, think about the bigger implications. But first and foremost, what resonates with you? Speak your truth and live with that. At least I'm trying to do more of that. And listen, honey, if you told me last year that I was going to potentially be sitting here on camera doing my makeup and talking about these things that make me scared without a script, sis, no, that would not have happened. But this is the kind of stuff that I like watching, and I wanted to just like kind of share my thoughts. And this is the first time I'm doing this. I'm sorry if my thoughts are a little bit like everywhere, and I definitely intend to do more of these. And now that I've done it once, I feel like I have a little bit more of the hang of it. But yeah, someone that I follow, Amy Lee, has been doing a lot of videos like this, and I just love that girl. Especially like I really love how much she talks about, you know, mental health and just accepting that we all are wounded children, and we all have the responsibility to then heal those wounds ourselves. And that for me is everything that I've been like really thinking about and really being on. And she said something in a video kind of like this, where she was talking about like being so over like conventional beauty standards and like really just learning to like love herself. Is that, and she's not the only person who said this, but she said something along the lines of, you create the prison that you live in. And that really speaks to me, because the truth is, like, you really don't have to do anything that anybody expects of you. Like, you only have to live your truth, and you create the world that you live in. So if you choose to, you know, be confined by what everybody else tells you you need to be, sis, you're about to live in that world. That's going to be all on you, and it's only up to you to decide that you don't want to be a part of that. So I don't know, that's really where I've been thinking. I think my makeup is mostly like, ooh, the sun is like now out. I think my makeup is mostly done. I'm thinking of adding a little bit of a lipstick, and then we will call it a day. I'll be back. Okay, so this lighting is all over the place, but anyway, put a little bit of lip gloss on, This Fenty Beauty lip gloss, I feel like everybody and their grandmother has it, but it's honestly the best. It's always cute. But I'm sorry if my thoughts were all over the place. This is the first time that I did something like this. I just wanted to get kind of my thoughts out when it comes to, you know, just learning to live your truth and to be 110% okay with not doing what everybody else does. And yeah, I hope this kind of resonated with someone. I definitely want to do more videos like this where I talk about different subjects. And yeah, today was a little bit rushed also because I really want to go outside. But point being, these are my thoughts. This is where I've been at. Anybody who's watching this, you are so beautiful. I see you. You deserve to be seen. You're so deserving of love and acceptance. And if there are people in your life who only want to love you because you look a certain way or because you act a certain way or you have certain beliefs, and if you were to, you know, divert from that, you would not be lovable anymore, then sis, they deserve to go. So I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day. I hope this spoke to you some way, somehow, and I will see you next time. All right, bye-bye.